Welcome to Cyprus Diaspora Uncovered. Cyprus, from emerging hub to global player. In this keynote address, Theodoros Loukaidis, Director General of the Research and Innovation Foundation, presents how Cyprus is strengthening its position as a global hub for research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The session provides an overview of the funding programs, support mechanisms, and collaboration opportunities available to businesses, startups, researchers, and innovators. Discover opportunities to foster partnerships between the Cypriot diaspora and organizations in Cyprus, while exploring inspiring success stories from companies and projects that have already benefited from the Research and Innovation Foundation's support. This keynote address was delivered as part of the Research and Innovation-powered session at the Cyprus Diaspora Forum, held on May 7th, 2026 at the AMARA Hotel in Limassol, Cyprus.
Next, we turn to the organization powering today's session. Please welcome Theodoros Loukaidis, Director General of the Research and Innovation Foundation, who will walk us through support, funding, and the opportunities available within Cyprus's innovation ecosystem.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us in today's session powered by the RIF, the Cyprus National Agency for Research, Technological Development and Innovation on the island of Cyprus. So, Cyprus is evolving into a dynamic innovation ecosystem. We've seen rankings improve year on year on the Global Innovation Index, where we stand on the 25th place internationally across the world, across 132 economies, 16th globally for innovation outputs, which means that the ability to turn inputs into outputs is quite impressive. We do have limited resources, of course, but the ability to turn them into outputs and put us at a place like the 16th place globally really stands out. And in recent years, we've been seeing our startup ecosystem growing. We've been very proud of what we have achieved in terms of enabling doers, those who dare to dream big and act bigger, to actually put us on the top 40 globally on the Startup Link Startup Ecosystem Report. We've been improving our performance for the 2 years in a row. And we are the fastest growing EU startup ecosystem these days. Now, we have a rapidly growing innovation ecosystem, which consists of 800 startups and scale-ups. These are companies across multiple sectors, doing things from digital technologies all the way to life sciences, an impressive cluster that we have formed in recent years. Shipping, maritech, energy tech, clean tech, you name it. It's quite impressive, the breadth and span of innovation activity that happens on a small island like Cyprus. In recent years, we've been fortunate to see about 60 investors investing in startups and scale-ups based in Cyprus. If we had talked about investors a few years ago, most probably it was an unknown term. But these days, we do see more and more investment pouring into our ecosystem. And over time, we have 30 research organizations, be it universities, centers of excellence, research institutes, both publicly funded, but also privately funded, active, creating high quality research, which of course form the base on top of which we can build all these great innovations. And today, we are very proud to have more and more companies and ecosystem actors. Now, if I wind back the clock 10 years ago, that would have been very little on that slide. If I go 20 years back, most probably there would have been nothing on that slide. And this is what we have been building. This is the result of a lot of great talent with ambition, which has been attracting investment into the island. And we've been here to support them in doing so. So what is the RIF? Now, here's the thing. 6 years ago, I decided to return back to Cyprus for personal reasons, change of life circumstances. And I was offered this job at the Research Innovation Foundation. I called friends and family to tell them I'm coming back from London. And they actually said, who are they? They didn't know Cyprus had an innovation agency. They didn't know that there was an organization making all these millions available for innovation to happen. And truth of the matter is that we've been working very hard in recent years to broaden participation, because innovation needs to cut across everything. And for that, you need to have as many people working on it. And it's a sport of many collisions, low friction. So we've been trying to create enabling conditions to make innovation happen on the island. So we're not just ecosystem. We're not just the funding agency. We're more than that. We're ecosystem builders. We provide a lot of support services, and we have become a trusted, reliable partner for the central government to manage and administer all these funds and channel them in the right direction. So who do we support? We support startups at every stage, from idea to scale-ups, and I'm going to give you a glimpse of the funding programs that are available. We support enterprises, small, medium, or large, to innovate, launch new products, and grow from Cyprus to the world. We support researchers, be it young talent, but also leading minds, to keep pushing the frontiers of knowledge from Cyprus. We support entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs to acquire new skills. We've been training a lot of young talent on skills that are necessary to innovate and grow into the international markets. Investors to co-invest with us. We de-risk their investments, and together we fuel growth. Inventors in protecting their intellectual assets, turn them into intellectual property, and then in turn turn it into value into the markets. We also support students, again, be it in school students or university students, to build the future skills to shape that we need to have in order to shape the future. And this includes programs like research innovation internships, where we give opportunities for university students to go and work in the research and innovation ecosystem in enterprises of any type that are carrying out innovative activities. We give them an opportunity. Of course, we fund them fully, but we do give them an opportunity to meet all these new companies that are popping up in Cyprus. And we have been very fortunate to see that some of these students have secured, once they graduated, they have secured jobs through this program that we've been running. But we also train and we equip younger generation, the generation after next, with the skills. We go to schools, we show them what innovation is, we take researchers to schools, we run programs like coding programs. We bring students from 6 years old up to 18 years old, different various programs that we've been running in order to show them what innovation can do for them and what technology really can do for the next generation. We also support incubators and accelerators. This is where we recognize that it's not just about the doers. In an ecosystem, you also have the support mechanisms that support the doers to do greater things. So we're strengthening their programs. We're giving out money in the form of grants in order to help them build programs that connect them with mentors who have the skills to help them grow from Cyprus. We also support government and public bodies to develop policies and direct investments. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, because one quote I like particularly well is from Ronald Reagan. He actually said, "The 9 words I fear the most are, I am from the government, I'm here to help." So we're not government, okay? The Research Innovation Foundation is privately set up. And our role is to sit in between, to be close to the doers, to be close to the actors of an ecosystem, and then translate that into the language that governments understand. And we help them shape policies. We help them devise strategies to be able to do more and better for the ecosystem, because we're here to serve the ecosystem. And for that, we need to have 2 hats on. And of course, the benefit comes for the society and the economy. We're creating quality jobs. We're boosting exports. We're building resilience through diversification. If we go back to Cyprus, what it used to be several decades ago, and what the economy looks like today, that diversification is also the result of innovation. And a lot of innovation has come out of the money that have been channeled through the ecosystem from the RIF. So in a nutshell, we turn knowledge into impact. We fuel innovation-driven growth, and we drive growth. That's our motto, because the future is ours to build. So what makes us unique? We are privately set up. We operate across the entire research and innovation lifecycle, meaning we fund things from fundamental research, the things that may or may not go into the market, but are pushing the frontiers of knowledge. We may see them in the market in 20 years, we may not, but they're creating new knowledge that is useful, because then some of it will be transferred into the market, and then it's going to be turned into innovation, and then it's going to be commercialized. So we support the entire R&I life cycle, and that puts us in a very good spot to know what's happening in the ecosystem from the very beginning of an idea all the way to scaling up into the international markets. We are working in a very fast, lean, and agile way. As I've said, we're not government. We don't benchmark ourselves against government. We try to operate faster than investors. So if you look at our time to evaluate, is 3 months. For those of you who have been trying to raise investments from private investors, typically it takes much longer than 6 months to close a deal. So in our case, in 3 to 4 months, you will get a result. We are impact driven. What we care for is innovation that actually has value in the market, because we do need to capture the return. And for us, the return on investment is in the form of new jobs created, boosting exports, helping the economy grow. And of course, everything we do, we have international markets in mind right from the start, because we do recognize that Cyprus, being a small island nation, internationalization is the key to its competitiveness. And this is all powered by its people, proven by results. We have 60 professionals, 69% women, a board of directors consisting of 9 members. And this is what we've done in the last 5 years. We've channeled into the ecosystem 151 million investment, vis-a-vis almost 60 million in the previous 5 years, 2016 to 2020. So 2.6 more at half the cost of what this organization used to operate before. This is how you drive innovation. And as I say to my team, if we're going to support the innovators, the entrepreneurs, the pioneers, we have to be a step ahead. So we have to shift our mindset and operate as a truly privately set up organization. So what we have been doing in the last 5 years, 153 million has gone into almost 800 contracts, which has created 1,330 jobs. And it has led to mobilization of 47.2 million private investment into the companies, the projects that we have been investing to. And of course, R&D is a collaborative game. So our funding has led to the creation of 278 unique national collaboration networks, 127 foreign research organizations that have teamed up with organizations from Cyprus, be it universities, centers of excellence, startups, and enterprises, in order to push the frontiers of knowledge and put products and services into international markets, and 751 partners collaborating in these 797 contracts. We have been building the ecosystem. Our events, our actions have, we've managed to engage almost 61,500 adults here in Cyprus, and almost 18,000 students who have been participating in events that we have been funding, be it events like this one, or training, capacity building programs that I've mentioned earlier. We have led 18 national delegations abroad at great events like Slash. 4 years from now at the Mobile World Congress, we've been traveling all the way from the US to Japan to showcase what this ecosystem can do and make it more extroverted and expand and grow its visibility in the international markets. We have been supporting universities to build local technology transfer offices, something that wasn't there. It was one of the missing links in the ecosystem. So today, we have these support structures operating within universities, and we're getting to see some of the results that are coming out of our investments being patented and turned into products and services. And we have been supporting 5 incubators and accelerators through funding, to strengthen their programs and offer better services to their mentees. So this is a glimpse into our main funding programs. If you are an innovator, an entrepreneur or intrapreneur, you can start with small tickets. If you are a recent graduate, you can tap into 25,000 euros and be part of the Future Founders program. This is a program that gives young talent the opportunity to test their idea, see if it has legs. But most importantly, we have teamed up with Columbia University in order to equip them with the skills they need. They have to go through a program. If my dad had told me, I'm going to pay money for you to go to Columbia University, an Ivy League university, to learn entrepreneurship at the age of 24, I would have taken it all day long. Back on the day, we didn't have these tools. We didn't have someone to give us 25,000 to test our ideas, but this generation deserves it, and the RIF has delivered. Pre-seed, if you are in the early stages, if you have an idea, it doesn't matter if you've set up the company or not yet, you can tap into 120,000 euros to try to do your first new product development, new service development steps. And we have seen great success coming out of this program, including Maria, that the chief scientist mentioned earlier, Malog, with 100,000 from a pre-seed program. They have grown into a company that has raised investments from Y Combinator in the US. Seed program, you can tap into €500,000 euros. That is if you are a startup, but you are already a little bit further ahead in your new product development journey. We've seen success stories in the likes of Notes and Links. From €500,000 seed program for the RIF, they've managed to raise almost 30 million euros VC investments in 3 rounds, and they're growing nicely, having customers in the likes of Google, Intel, and so on, operating still from Cyprus. 2/3 the entire technical base is here in Cyprus, which proves the point that talent is here on the island too, but growing nicely into the international markets, have entered the US market, the UK market, and growing rapidly. If you are a company, doesn't matter if you are a startup or an established company, you have products out in the market. The Innovate program gives you an opportunity to access 1 million euros equity free. Again, we've seen success stories. It could be like companies like Medochemi, a large pharmaceutical company, a foreign direct investor out of Cyprus who has accessed this tool in order to work on a new product in a new drug discovery program, but also companies of smaller sizes that have used this tool in order to bring new features, new services, new products into the market. Fast Track Innovation, we've run it for the very first time last year. We've already seen success. It does exactly what it says on the tin. We give you 200,000 euros and you have to actually fast track it. You have to build the product and put it in the markets in 9 months. This is innovation fast tracked, and we do see success stories coming out. We had recently, a few days ago, companies launching their products into the market. The PhD in Industry tool is a great tool for enterprises that employ more than 7 people to hire someone who's going to do a PhD in industry. We want to strengthen collaboration between research organizations and industry to push and pull the knowledge out. So one of the best ways to do it is actually getting people out of universities and into the companies to actually put their knowledge into practice, gain their PhD while working on real problems in the real market. The postdoc program is a program where we give young talent the opportunity to actually work either in enterprises or in the great research organizations that we have. We want them to lead projects early on. One of the challenges that we have seen is that usually young talent doesn't get enough opportunities early on, which means that they don't have the CVs that they need to have in order to be competitive in the European funding programs, Horizon Europe, the European Research Council. So through this postdoc program, we want to give them as much money as we can in order to lead projects, build their CVs, strengthen their profiles, their research abilities in order to compete at the international stage. The co-develop program is another push and pull mechanism whereby we expect a local enterprise to team up with a research organization here in Cyprus in order to push and pull knowledge out of the research organization and turn it into real products and services. The AI in government, yet another addition into our portfolio. This is where we give entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, enterprises of all sizes the opportunity to address real challenges that the civil sector is facing. We've had 2 programs running with the Meteorological Service here in Cyprus doing better weather forecast. It's a big challenge we have with the weather forecasting in Cyprus. We have run a program for the Ministry of Education for better foresight of skills in order to equip the younger generations with the skills that they need in the future workplace. And we have one running with the Ministry of Transport on public transport, improving the quality of service and the times to commute with buses in Nicosia, Limassol, and across the motorways of the Republic. And then we go into blended finance programs. This is where we hand you off to the private markets, right? Because too much money often makes people lazy. We want people to actually get to the point where they go and pitch to investors. They're actually exposed to the real markets, to the real money. So in these 3 programs, what we expect investors to join us and co-invest with us. In the case of the Disrupt program, this is one of the flagship programs we run. If you have an investor, a VC, anywhere in the European Economic Area that commits to invest more than 1 million euros into your company, then you can tap into another 1.5 million euros in the form of grant from the RIF. This is a 2.5 million ticket. By European standards, is a Series A round. The Boost program is a smaller ticket whereby you can tap into up to 300,000 euros from the Research Innovation Foundation with a cap of 50% of the private investment, meaning that if you have an investor, any type of investor anywhere in the world, so it's open to people from Australia, the US, Canada, you name it. If you have invested $500,000 into a local innovative company, they can apply for another 250,000 euros in the form of grants. So in this particular example, a total ticket size of 750,000. And last but not least, the STEP program. This goes up to 2 million. This is where we commercialize innovation. This is where we fund companies to build production facilities in Cyprus. And you're going to hear from one of the companies that has secured investments through private investors. They have tapped into the STEP program and they're building a production facility here in Cyprus, relocating from the UK and hiring great talent here in Cyprus. And hopefully soon we're going to have products that are going to be exported to international markets coming out of that facility. And we have 3 more companies that have secured funding from that STEP program as well. So it's not just about the funding programs, of course. It's also about incentives that the government of Cyprus has been giving. We have the crown jewel, the most competitive IP regime across the European Union. You hold your intellectual property here in Cyprus and you monetize that, brings down effective corporate tax to 3%. There is 120% R&D tax deduction for companies that invest R&D for as long as your accountants qualified as R&D under the international accounting standards. You get a 120% discount. There's a 50% tax exemption for investment in certified innovative companies. This goes to investors. So if you're a local investor who wants to invest in an innovative company here in Cyprus, you can get up to 50% deduction from your income tax statement. And last but not least, the startup visa and scientific visa schemes that have been great at attracting a lot of great talent, but also companies into the island. And of course, highly skilled individuals also benefit from tax incentives, meaning that it makes Cyprus an even more appealing place to come, live, work, and grow internationally your business. So there's a lot of innovation that has come out of Cyprus in recent years. You will be hearing from some of the companies that have been using our funding programs to go from Cyprus into the international markets. Cenera, RSE Revolutionary Labs, is the German Oncology Center, Malog, InfoCredit, and Odyssey with Clear Skies. Who would have thought that Cyprus would have a company in cybersecurity that is going to be in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, standing out as one of the companies that can really solve the cybersecurity challenges. And as I've said, it's not just about funding, it's also about community engagement, building the ecosystem. So we have been very active to bring this ecosystem together, make it a stronger, more united, and stronger interconnected ecosystem as the National Strategy for Research and Innovation commands. And we have been very, very proud that in recent years, this ecosystem has grown, and it makes us proud internationally. Now, before I leave you, you're going to receive a copy of our publication we published on Tuesday, which highlights some of the achievements of this ecosystem. We couldn't fit everyone within one publication, but we chose a few good examples just to showcase what this country can do, because we do believe that actually there is more and better we can do together. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Cyprus Diaspora Uncovered. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for more inspiring conversations that are shaping Cyprus's global future. You can also explore more episodes on our website and selected video interviews on our YouTube channels.